This was the article for The Curse 2 days before the shooting. Hey, FBI, does hiring witches to curse Charlie Kirk before his assassination make one accessory to murder? Are you fucking for real? The article was revealed 2 days prior, but I believe they hired the witches like a couple of weeks prior to the article's full publishing. But because we have become even more insane in every direction, okay? Insanity, much like violence and much like gun violence, is a bipartisan thing here, okay? Being susceptible to misinformation is bipartisan. Insanity is also bipartisan, and that's why there are so many different conspiracy theories flying around, but this one has to be the best one, honestly. The idea that, like, witches are capable of killing people with curses is so medieval age coded. Like, I used to joke about how, like, we're becoming medieval peasants. Like, we have the brain of a medieval peasant, but this is unironically medieval peasant shit.
Charlie Kirk heard about these curses.
We're gonna have to unfollow, can't jeopardize the coven. Okay, I'm sorry. To witch talk, I know there's hella fucking Wiccans in this chat. I know you have cast protective spells over me, and I love you for it. Keep up the good work, please. Okay, keep up the good work, and don't listen. If this might trigger warning to the Wiccans in my fan base. This might come across as I'm making fun of the mysterious ways in which you make the world turn. Okay,
and that news genuinely rattled Erica in particular. She knew Christian teaching on the subject. She loved Charlie, absolutely. And she was scared when she heard of the curses Jezebel had called up. So much so that she and Charlie contacted a friend who I believe she said was a Catholic priest, but definitely a friend, and asked him to come over and pray with them over Charlie the night before he was murdered. She eventually worked it through, and so did Charlie. That, as she later told me, weapons will form but not prosper. That Satan and those witches have no power.
Doesn't this mean that witchcraft is real? Like, you have to believe it, right? Like, this kind of is a point for the witches, no? Like, kind of an L for prayer. Like, no disrespect to anybody involved, but like, doesn't if you're bringing this up sincerely, aren't you kind of saying that, like, witchcraft trumps the Bible?
She was waiting impatiently.
And Christian prayer? Like, isn't this the admission here?
Before results. The witch, they reveal, promised on August 23rd that, quote, you will see the first results within 2 to 3 weeks. This was 18 days before Charlie was killed. Not satisfied with this curse, the amped up one alone, Jezebel reached out to a, quote, third witch.
Like, you can't be serious, right? Like, you can't be like a whole ass adult in 2025 and unironically doing a whole 7-minute monologue on witchcraft, right? That's not where we're at as a society, right? I mean, there's so much scientific discovery that has taken place since the last time people genuinely believed this stuff. I mean, how can I look at this as anything but hysteria? This is like believing in Star Wars, you know? Like, that people can do Jedi mind tricks and shit. What the fuck? What? I'm always left with two different minds on stuff like this. Like, is Megyn Kelly this fucking insane? Or is she such a cynical grifter that she's like leaning into all these different narratives in an effort to farm clicks off of the straight up broad daylight execution of a person that she knew personally? Like, what the fuck is going on, man? She's just a grifter, dude. No one is that dumb. Dude, there is a deep crisis of consciousness, collective consciousness in the hearts and minds of many evangelicals, I feel like.
Priestess Lilin. Jezebel opined, if enough people cursed a single person, would the results be stronger? Quote,
like, this is an article that is meant to be in jest. Like, obviously they're not writing this with sincerity. Many such articles have been written about Donald Trump, for example. Like, this is not new. This is not a new meta at all.
When I asked her if she'd noticed more political figures being targeted these days, she said yes. The next day, Lilin sent the Jezebel writer proof of the hex she had cast. Quote, a photograph in flames, the edges slowly curling inward, engulfing Charlie's ridiculous, scrunched up little face. She whispered, I imagine writes the Jezebel reporter. Trust the unseen. Chills, writes Jezebel.
Like, do I get arrested for not taking this seriously now? Is that like the next meta? The Trump administration is going to put you in jail if you think witchcraft related articles are not serious. Like, is that where we're headed towards as a society? Is this the good direction? What the fuck? Are we going to start stoning women? Are we going to bind them with massive stones to see if they float, and if they die, then I guess. But if they float, then they're a witch. Like that type of shit. The Salem witch trials, burning women at the stake.
Sunday, August 24th passed, writes the author, and nothing. Monday, August 25th, still nothing. Tuesday, August 26th, nothing. But then she writes, she reminded herself, this is witchcraft, not Amazon. The forces operate on their own schedule. The Jezebel writer ends the piece as follows. So, did my Etsy curses work? Time will tell. The forces move in mysterious ways. And as the priestess Lilin reminded me, spell work is a collaboration between the caster, the client, and the universe itself. For now, we can only trust in the timing of the great unknown. To you, Mr. Kirk, may the rash come swiftly. 2.5 weeks after those curses were requested and cast, 2 days after Jezebel published that article, Charlie was killed by an assassin's bullet. I know what you're thinking. This is a bullshit Etsy curse. Why are we spending time on this? I'm going to get to that in a minute. Stay with me for now. After the shooting, Jezebel took down the article, quote, on the recommendation of our lawyers. They underscored that the piece was meant to be humorous, intended as satire, and that they made clear they wished Charlie, quote, no physical harm, which is not the full story now, is it? At the same time, they said of the article, quote, we stand by every word, which means they did want him cursed. They wanted everyone to hate him. They wanted it to be powerful, and they wanted Charlie, quote, punished for years of regressive rhetoric. They also made clear that taking down the article was, quote, driven by an abundance of caution for our staff.
You see Megyn Kelly's brand of medieval peasant brain across the right influencer world. Tucker Carlson was sleeping in a bed with all his dogs and woke up to find some scratches on his body. His conclusion, he had been assaulted by demons. People used to believe the internet would usher in a golden age of reason, but instead it's ushered in a golden age of medieval peasant brain. Yeah, no, we are fully in the throes of medieval peasant brain. Like, this is the most medieval peasant brain we've ever been in modern time. Oh my God. This is so nutty, dude. Oh, please, if you read the article, the effects of the curse were like, make his head slightly larger every day and shit like that. I don't need to read the article to know that the Jezebel franchise did not actually successfully put a fucking evil hex on a prominent political commentator, okay? It's the fucking Jezebel. It's like getting scared of an Onion article, okay? What the hell? Like, yeah, it's a fucking satirical feminist blog. What are we doing, Prove they didn't, libtard? I can't do it. I can't prove it. And I am scared of the witches. Please don't curse me. Downplaying women's achievements, shaking my head.
In other words, they were worried about violence against them by Charlie Kirk supporters. They also, they wrote, wished, quote, to avoid the piece being misused in a tense and volatile environment. There was not, they made clear, any change in their editorial and judgment. In fact, they emphasized, quote, we may republish at a later.
Why do you always shut down ideas you don't understand? That's bait, right? I don't know. Ethantium. Like, understand what? Witchcraft? Like, you unironically are like, why don't you understand witchcraft? Like, you're saying Etsy witches killed Charlie Kirk. Like, straight up. You are saying right now to me, in all sincerity, this is not rage bait. You have one option to pull out right now. I'm giving you the exit ramp. Are you in all sincerity telling me that Charlie Kirk was assassinated because of witchcraft? It's not letting me send my messages. I was joking. I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Date. They then rambled on about the country's gun problem and the heated political divide in the country and free speech, noting they do not actually condone political violence. Now, again, you may be saying to yourself, why are we talking about Etsy curses? None of
The reason why they are saying that is because there's insane people like yourself. Obviously, if they condoned political violence, they would be writing an article about how they hired an assassin to kill Charlie Kirk rather than hired a bunch of Etsy witches to hex Charlie Kirk. Obviously, they don't condone political violence. The article itself is supposed to be in jest.
this is real. Well, two things. First of all, Christians are opposed to casting spells or trying to contact.
Yo, come on, man. Oh, no.
Now, again, you may be saying to
gotta
yourself,
run.
why are we talking about Etsy curses? None of this is real. Well, two things. First of all, Christians are opposed to casting spells or trying to contact the spirit world. Not only because they believe there's only one God, but because they acknowledge the existence of the devil and evil spirits. Here is Father Mike Schmidt. He was on the day Charlie died, helping us through that as well. But he came on our show first time a couple of years ago, and here he is discussing this very subject.
The motivation behind the Ouija board is actually something where I'm trying to contact spirits.
What is fucking going on the right, man? I thought I watched enough right-wing commentary to kind of get a good grasp of the insanity over there. It turns out the well is so much deeper. Here we have a pastor sincerely talking about Ouija boards. You must not try to make contact with the spirit world, I say, from my position of authority. What the fuck?
And someone could say, well, I'm trying to contact nice spirits or good spirits. And the unfortunate thing we know about is that, yes, when God created angels, he created angels. They're good. They're beautiful. They're in harmony with him. But also we know that a number of those said no to God. A person who's reasonable would say, but I'm just playing. And I would say, I completely understand that. And then I would say, at the same time, you remember the movie The Exorcist?
Of course.
Yeah. How can you forget it? So that story is
That's a movie.
based off of two true stories.
No, that's a movie, dog. That's a movie. That's not real. That's a movie, man.
And one of the true stories is, I believe, about, if I can get the details right, is about a young man who was at, kind of like a birthday party, some kind of celebration of some sort with kids. And they just busted out the Ouija board and just played for fun. But that was an entry point for what ultimately became a possession.
Yo, this is the type of shit they're getting up to over there. Yeah, no wonder. Bro, you can convince these people of anything. I'm not even kidding. No wonder they're so susceptible to misinformation and false framing. You could convince a motherfucker of anything, bro. You can make him think movies are real. Is this okay? Are we all right? I don't think we're going to make it, guys. I'm not even kidding. This is scary shit. There are how many people believe this kind of stuff? What the fuck?
In other words, you're playing with fire, messing with this stuff. There actually are demons in this world. Calling up the spirit world.
You're disrespecting the believers in your community, bro. As a Muslim, we believe into witchcraft, not the magician of Oz ones. But come on, the fact that we know a lot of our era doesn't mean we know or can explain everything. So we need to remain humble. Doesn't mean to believe any freaky statement, but just like, okay, I can't prove it's unrelated, but I'm okay you believe that. No, there's a limit to that. This is my limit. You've arrived at my limit, okay? I've never shit on someone for believing in God or, holding on to their faith in the spiritual journey, all this stuff, okay? But there is a limit to it. Once you get into the realm of demons and spirits and a guy touched a Ouija board one time and the devil came. That's insane. That's an insane claim, man. What about jinns? Yeah, bro. I was afraid of jinns when I was a baby, okay? When I was a child, when I was a kid, when I was a little kid, okay? That's when I was afraid of jinns. I'm 34 fucking years old, man. What is happening? You live in a boring reality? You used to be more chill about this? I dare you to say Candyman 3 times in the bathroom. Oh, I can't tell if this is fucking rage bait or if it's people trying to bring back whimsy into their lives or something, or where we're at. I thought the right wings were cooked, but seems like a lot of us are too. Dude, this is straightforwardly like peasant brain shit. Guys, we have fucking phone cameras everywhere, man. We have cameras everywhere. It's like 24/7 surveillance. What are we talking about? What the hell's going on? I have no issue with people who are just like, yeah, I believe in God. I believe in heaven and hell. I believe in this religion, that religion, whatever. But like, there is a degree that I think science has been able to unearth certain truths about the planet. And I feel like when you move into the direction of like witches doing hexes and stuff, it just, you know, it kind of strikes me as believing in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. What the fuck?
In particular, the devil's spirit world can actually have real world consequences. It's not something to mess with. Many Christians believe this. This is dangerous. It's not a game. It's literally evil. Second, this is what I really want.
Bro, she's just straight up mad about witchcraft. Like she's saying it's a dangerous thing to play with. What the fuck? She's sincerely addressing the witches. She's offering blistering critique at the witches who did this. Like a person who unironically believes this shit. At first I thought it was cynical, but now I'm beginning to think like she straight up believes this.
All and the people at Jezebel and Etsy to know. Erica and Charlie Kirk heard about these curses, and that news genuinely rattled Erica in particular. She knew Christian teaching on the subject. She loved Charlie, absolutely. And she was scared when she heard of the curses Jezebel had called up. So much so that she and Charlie contacted a friend who I believe she said was a Catholic priest, but definitely a friend, and asked him to come.
Wait, Catholic priest? Whoa! Hold on now. Hold on now. That's devil speak. Ain't no way. Ain't no way they called a Catholic priest. I thought Charlie was not an unfaithful Jedediah. He was a man who was an evangelical Protestant. The fuck you mean they called a god dang Catholic priest? Excuse me. Don't Protestants believe Catholics are also like they're going to hell, right? I thought Erica was initially Catholic and then became evangelical. Now I'm suspecting that there was devil worship happening in this home. Is she still Catholic? What's happening? What the hell? Goddamn papist! Catholics do the exorcisms. Lots of Christians believe in this shit. From my Catholic relatives to the evangelicals I grew up around, Kentucky is crazy, dude. No, Charlie's not Catholic. Charlie's Protestant. No. This is a huge schism. Not to use that word here, but this is a big issue. Charlie Kirk is not Catholic. No, he's an evangelical Protestant. What? Angelus. Charlie Kirk, to California bishop. I'm this close to becoming Catholic. What? To this day, I experience a special kind of joy when I learn someone decided to become Catholic, whether they be a celebrity or someone I know personally. Why is this just talking about John Wayne, man? I will never know if my dad would have thought of the late Charlie Kirk in the same way he thought about John Wayne, but I'm sure he would have taken notice of certain tells. Charlie Kirk was tipping that he just might have crossed the Tiber one day. Now we will never know, but I know of 2 distinctive events that took place prior to his murder. One was a recent video Kirk made suggesting to his Protestant co-religionists that they did not give the Blessed Mother her due. It was a video that could have been shown in a Catholic school religion class. He even suggested her example was a Christian temple applicable across other denominations. Blaspheme! Blasphemy! Instead of Mossad doing it for leaving Israel, it was Kenneth Copeland for leaving evangelicalism. Candace says, Charlie praying to the rosary? Wait, what?
No, I think Charlie was definitely on the brink of changing some of his perspectives. And I can tell you factually, Charlie was praying the rosary. Charlie was going to Mass. One of my last conversations with Charlie was me joking with him saying, just make the last step, okay? You are, I said specifically, you're too smart to be a Protestant. Just take the last step, Charlie. He says, ha ha. Speaking about Mary And typically, when those steps start taking place,
we saw this last week, but I didn't understand the significance until I saw another article talking about Charlie Kirk potentially taking the next step towards Catholicism, which is unacceptable. He was this close to losing the divine grace of God. What the hell? Isn't this a thing that people get mad about? Like the whole rift between evangelicals, Protestants, and Catholics specifically. Like American evangelical Christians unironically think Catholics are devil worshippers, like straight up. What if this was the shooter's motive? We worship the saints, which is blasphemous. Blasphemer! You don't even decide, so who cares? You do what your parents say, which is why switching is wild. My Baptist great uncle won't go to his daughter's wedding because she's marrying a Catholic, lol. All of my religious traumas finally has meaning. There is this weird right wing embrace of Catholicism because they feel it hates gays and women more than Protestant Christianity. Same reason for right winger conversions to Islam. I don't get it because like most normal Catholics that I know spend most of their lives shedding the Catholic teachings that they've experienced, and it's almost like that Catholic conversion is like for the specifically for the zealotry of a convert, where they just straight up like, have they met normal Catholics? The fuck? Converts are always freaks. Oh no, always. Cradle Catholic does not equal converted Catholic. Catholicism teaches you to hate yourself and God hates you. It's probably the least fun religion, Lamau. Always wild when people switch. I mean, there's some really cool, really metal parts about Catholicism, but I don't think that's the reason why people fucking switch. You can't convert to Catholicism. You have to go through a life of shame and pain first. Sorry. As somebody from Alabama, people just see Catholics as Christian plus. If you switch, it's a big deal, but you're still going to heaven. This is him saying why he's not Catholic.
I have three major theological disagreements with Catholicism. It's not a mystery. I talk about it publicly. The first of which would be the infallibility of the Pope and the whole process and the idea of the Vatican. The second of which...
Oh, because the Pope was woke. That's what it is. Because if the Pope was more reactionary, he probably wouldn't mind the infallibility of the Pope. You know what I mean? Because the Pope is like what? Like accurately conveying the statements of God, right? So when you got like a woke Pope, a lot of Catholic converts hated the woke Pope for some reason. And it's like, bitch, you just started. How do you shit on the Pope? It's like the one thing that you can't do. Anyway, let's keep going.
Is Mariology, and the third of which is just less important, but it's transubstantiation. I do not hold that.
Being a Catholic is the one true religion that dates back to Jesus. Sorry, never understood what Catholics get hate for loving Mary. We should treat all mothers that way. He sounds pliable. If he would have been in here a few years ago, you could have got him to take the Shahada with the rest of us. Yeah, Islam is the true light. He would have reverted, mashallah. Who could say he didn't in his last moment? You know what I mean? Convert to Catholicism, we got cool feast. This tweet basically sums like Catholics. Yeah, I've read this before. Every lifelong Catholic I've ever met is like, I think we're supposed to give this food to poor people. And every adult convert is like, the Archon of Constantinople's epistle on the Pentecostine rites of the Eucharist clearly states women shouldn't have driver's licenses. This account is one of the most annoying fucking centrist liberals and hates me, but this was an absolute banger. One of the most annoying liberals on the platform. Like just such a shameless little fucking libtard in general. But sometimes, you know, when they bang, they bang. Anyway, that is... I can't believe we took these many different side steps from one singular Megyn Kelly video about witchcraft. Remember, we were talking about witchcraft and how witches were responsible for Charlie Kirk's assassination, which is now the third conspiracy that has hit the towers. And it's fucking awesome. Congratulations to the Christians. But in this process, while she was describing this, Megyn Kelly accidentally revealed that Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk called in a Catholic priest, which led me to go down this rabbit hole about Charlie Kirk being on the verge of converting to Catholicism. And a lot of people were like, no, you don't understand. Charlie's Catholic. He's not. I was right. He was an evangelical Protestant Christian. Okay. How dare you? This is heresy. I believe his wife was Catholic, however, and I thought that his wife had actually also converted to evangelical Protestant Christianity, but it may have been that she just kept a lot of the Catholic elements in her belief.
Come over and pray with them over Charlie the night before he was murdered. She eventually worked it through. And so did Charlie. That, as she later told me, weapons will form, but not prosper. That Satan and those witches have no power. Of course, God's will is the one that matters, and his blessing over Charlie was real and palpable. All you had to do was spend time with Charlie to know that. But why torture a family like this? A Christian, believing family. Why do this vile thing to a young couple, parents to two babies, living in accordance with the gospel, deeply in love? Yes, political, but doing nothing other than speaking publicly about their views and their desires to make other people's lives better. Who would do such a vile thing? Jezebel. That's who.
I can't believe she made a 7-minute and 33-second video about a feminist blog jokingly hiring Etsy witches to put a curse on Charlie Kirk, and she made it seem like this was somehow responsible. That's crazy. Oh my Lord. Oh my fucking Lord. We done did it now. Wait, they're trying to get the witches off Etsy now? Let's cancel evil. Thanks for the reporting, Megyn Kelly. Etsy, please check your inbox. Jezebel, your publication is trash. Press at Etsy.com. Jezebel's cursing of Charlie Kirk. Megyn Kelly reported today that Jezebel writers use Etsy to have witchcast curses upon Charlie Kirk's family. Whether you believe in curses in the spirit of the world, in the spirit world or not, you as a company must agree that malicious activity like that is a gross misuse of your services. I don't blame Etsy, but I do expect Etsy to review and admonish accounts that offer such witchcraft services. Etsy should be a marketplace for what is good, beautiful, and true. Don't let your services be used by those who wish anybody from any political side harm. Tim Anderson, pastor. Boycott Etsy until they fire all involved. At Etsy, this is unacceptable. At Etsy, what your company is doing with witches, curses is absurd. You deserve a boycott with the bullshit with Jezebel spells, rhetoric over Charlie, and faith. You are mocking Christians. I hope the liberals can keep you going. What you choose to do to Erica Kirk and family is wrong. Amen. I like at Etsy, but in good conscience cannot support a company that allows garbage like this on their site. This is too stupid to parody. Do they not realize how many Mormon moms with cry cuts have Etsy shops? Are you starting to understand American atheism? I'm just confused because, like, maybe I was sheltered living in big cities when I was growing up in Turkey, but I unironically feel like, weirdly enough, Muslims were more chill about like insane shit like this. I'm not even kidding. Horrifying. This Etsy witch is offering a horde of 5,000 demons, most powerful revenge spell, curse, demon, magic, dark spell, vampire spell, psychic reading. It's time for witch trials. For Charlie. Only hard for me spell. My God, these people are sick. Nah, evil eye is pretty real in the Muslim communities. Brother, I have evil eyes as well, okay? Nazar, or like a modest belief that people might wish ill upon you, so you have like a safeguard, is nothing in comparison to like losing your mind over witchcraft like this. And I'm not even saying that it's like not a thing. I'm not even saying that people don't behave that way in Turkey. I'm openly and readily admitting that maybe I'm oblivious to it. Oh, the thing I can oh yeah, kurşun döktürme. Oh my God. Oh my God. You just unlocked a fucking formative memory. Oh my God. Lead. Oh my God. Oh my God, I totally had forgotten about this. My parents, when I was growing up, there's this ritual where they will melt lead over the head of whoever they want to literally take away all the bad juju from. And I fucking hated that process. You just unlocked childhood trauma that I had just that compartmentalized in my brain. Oh my God. I'm Assyrian. We call it rusus. They melt lead over your head. Like an old, scary, demon-looking lady comes to your house and they put like a fucking veil over you, like sheets over your head. And then they take lead and they melt it and then they switch it from like one container to the other over your fucking head. And it's supposed to protect you. Yes. Mylodomancy is a technique of divination using molten metal. Typically, molten lead or tin is dropped into water. It can be found as a tradition in various cultures, including Austria, Bosnia, Turkey, Czech Republic, Germany, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Switzerland. Some versions have been found to to have potentially harmful effects on human health. Lead, or more recently tin, shapes are melted into a ladle over a flame, and the molten liquid is then poured into the water. The resulting shape is either directly interpreted as an omen for the future or is rotated in a candlelight to create shadows, whose shapes are then interpreted. The shapes are interpreted symbolically, for example, a bubbly surface signifying money, a fragile or broken shape, misfortune. The shape of the lead before melting can refer to a specific area of one's life. I don't think this is a Muslim thing. I think this is more so like a Turkish thing, potentially. I fucking hated that shit. Elon Musk is no longer following Charlie Kirk. Oh my God. Mystical Turkish lead melting ritual.
This
yes.
woman was invited to my aunt's house to perform the Turkish version of lead pouring. This is a pagan ritual where molten lead or tin is dropped into cold water over a person's head. The ritual often begins with a prayer from the Quran and several maneuvers to open our energy for biohealing. After this stage, we were not allowed to cross our arms or legs because that would impair the flow of energy.
Your PhD having parents did that to you? Yes, bro. They're fucking nutty. People can be nutty, even if they're brilliant, even if they're very well read. That's what I'm saying. Do you not understand? Are you telling us you're a full metal political commentator? What part of you is metal?
After this, she burned sage and put a coin in the bowl full of cold water. A piece of garlic was also involved, but I don't really remember what that symbolized. Now time to melt the lead while Lorenzo panics about lead poisoning. When it's liquid, we put a blanket over low and prepare to dump the
Yeah, they
molten
put a
metal
blanket
into
over your
cold
head.
water and interpret the shapes when it cools. Straight lead.
In a nice ladle.
Yeah.
To be honest, you missed 1/3 of the American populace fearing its children were becoming demonic when Harry Potter arrived. To be honest, I think you just overcorrected when you left r/atheism spaces. Ask Caroline about it. I'm not even exaggerating. I've heard this before, yes.
And then the lead's going to go in the cold water and she's going to read the shape.
Ja, şöyle.
This is done to provide insights into the future and absorb the dark energies of that person.
Korkma.
Yeah, no, that scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid, bro. Straight up.
Don't be scared.
That was very close. It felt very close.
Wantep sana da yaptılar mı lan? Amerika'da bile yaptılar ha. Wantep, did you do this? Did your parents do this shit to you too? Yok, babaannemin evinde görmüştüm ama. Oh, he says it happened in his fucking grandmother's home. Bro, this shit was so scary. Oh my God. You don't understand when you're a kid. You don't understand when you're a fucking kid and you're under the covers like that. And then like you're just hearing the lead drop into cold water. That shit is terrifying. I hated this shit. I hated it so much I forgot about it until that one chatter brought it up. That's crazy. You just unlocked memories, ancient memories in my brain. That's wild. Anyway, what a fucking crazy time to be alive, man.